Hi there everyone, tonight Empire Hero here, also known as Dwayne, with another video using my, V-Roid model. Let me just turn down the music just a little bitty. Anyways, so, I'm gonna be doing, like, a video on, like, the current controversy that's going on about this anime that you see over here, because it's having a lot of talk on, like, Twitter and other places at the moment, and as someone myself who is uh transgender, I felt like I needed to share my opinion on this, and there's a lot I want to talk about with this one. Now, just as a disclaimer, my opinion does not represent the opinion on all trans people who feel about this anime, or about like the concept of gender bending, or about like certain stuff in general. I'm only speaking my opinion and my opinion alone, and I do respect and understand other people's opinions on this as long as it's not hurtful or harmful or causing any like drama or threats or anything. Anyways, so to get started, this anime is called Oni-chan wa Oshima, or Onimai, I'm Now Your Sister. And the story is basically this person called Mahiro Oyama, who was just your typical shut-in, loving like erotic games and stuff. So your typical like otaku like shut-in, who one day woke up as a young woman, thanks to the mad scientist that is their little sister, and wanted to try out things. So it's your typical like gender bent slice of life type anime, where the little sister does like experiments and trying to make Mahiro go outside more and hang out with friends and become more social and stuff. So it's a comedy slice of life, and that typical type of thing. And the first thing people were saying was they were hoping for like a trans representation in this anime. And honestly, when it comes to the concept of gender bending in anime, I don't I understand why for some trans people that'd be like an interesting concept or a really cool like fantasy and stuff. But for this particular anime, especially from what I've seen of the first episode, I don't think it would count as trans representation at all. No, it really wouldn't. Like, if people enjoy the concept of gender bending like I do, that's then I say this might be for you, but it's again, it is not something that I think would be everyone's cup of tea. And the reason why I don't think it'd be everyone's cup of tea is, number one, the sexualization and the fan service, especially of the main character, Mahiro, especially with them like looking like a minor, which is, and some of the stuff, especially in the opening, looking very sus. Now, if that's not an issue for some people, yeah, whatever, you do you. But if you're gonna be sus about like underage people in general, then FBI open up. And if you like certain characters in like anime and TV shows and whatever, especially in like a sexual context, at least age them up to 18 and over. Cause if you like them underage, that'd be sus. Like for an example, I adore characters like Futaba and Froppy, but if I want to see them in like a sexual context, I much rather see them around like 18 and over, or like in their 20s or 30s. At least that's just my opinion personally. I know not everyone will agree with that, but that's just my opinion personally regarding that. Um, yeah. There's also people like saying that Mahiro turned into like a lolly slash shota, and personally, I'm not a fan of like the concept of like lolly and shota. There's two videos I will put in the description that explains things better than I could, and for that subject. So I'll put those in the description. Again, it explains things better than I could on my opinion on like lolly and shota stuff. Like if you want to like it in like a safer work context, like you think the character's like cute and adorable and you just want to cuddle them and all that, that's okay. But the moment it's it's sexual, especially about young kids. Again, FBI open up, but that's my opinion personally. But yeah, um I personally only enjoy Onimai for the animation. I love like the animation and the art style of the show. I also like the concept of like gender bent stuff in like television and movies and stuff. The idea of like waking up as like the opposite gender. Like stuff like Your Name for an example, where you wake up as like a different person and stuff. It's just a fun little thing to enjoy, and I do personally agree some of the stuff in the show it can be a bit problematic and can make some people uncomfortable. And what I want people who are defending the show to understand is there are going to be people that are uncomfortable with this type of thing. There are going to be people that aren't going to like it, and that's okay. If you want to enjoy it, if you want to love the show, that's okay. If you want to dislike the show and think it's bad, that's also okay too. Both opinions are valid. But to think in the first place this was trans representation, nuh-uh. It never was, and I don't think it will be. But if you do like the concept of like gender bent stuff, there are other shows. There's Campfer, for an example, which yeah, it does have some fan service, but it does have like other stuff. But honestly, I think there should be more like trans characters in anime. I honestly think there should be a lot better trans representation in anime, and I'm trying to remember. I'm trying to remember the one of the shows. Oh, Wandering Sun. Yeah, Wandering Sun is a really good show and is a good example of good trans representation in anime. So definitely check out Wandering Sun. Let me just double check if that's the name. Is it? Give me a quick second. Yep, Wandering Sun. As in, like, WANDRINGSON. Definitely check that out if you want a better example of, like, trans representation in, anime. I'm sure there's more, but I can't think of, like, any at the top of my head. So if you know any other good ones, feel free to let me know in the comments below. But yeah, for stuff like Onimai, they more fall under the category of gender bent, or as what my anime list calls it, magical sex shift. So, some people may like that, some people may not. That's up to them, honestly. How they feel about it. Oh, Ranma 1/2 is under that genre as well. That makes sense. Apparently, Girl Meets Girl. Campfer, I mentioned Campfer earlier. Maha Shouje Ore. Yeah, I remember that one. It's where these girls transform into like masculine magical girls. That's really funny. That's a really funny show. And yeah. So I think my overall feelings on Onimai is that while I do enjoy the show and like the animation and some of the funny moments and how cute it is at times, I do understand why it may be problematic for some people, especially like trans people. And I understand why it may be like uncomfortable for some people, especially like the fan service and the other stuff. So, if if you do want to check it out and develop your own opinion, that's up to you. But I also understand why it's not everyone's cup of tea. Anyway, I just wanted to make this quick, short video to get it off my chest. So I hope that was alright. And I'll see you all next time, and I hope you all have a happy new year for 2023. Later, my dudes. Bye.